Yo, how's it going, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new week. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Yeah, I know I did. Played lots of Elden Ring. What can I say? I streamed it live on my Twitch as well, so if you guys want to check that out, feel free to. Yeah, we've got Eldlich Punk on the left versus Drytron on the right, the DPE Drytron Scythe stuff. Basically what that build is. And I asked you guys who you thought in the poll was going to win. And as I'm recording this, about 140 votes. Drytron in the lead by about 10%, 55% to 45. So let's see if you guys are correct. This Eldlich Punk deck was on the feature last week on the 4th round against Prank Kids. Did not take the dub there, unfortunately. But we'll see if it can pull it off here. We're going to see him lead with the Tenny Spirit Vishuda. Sorry about the glare. I had to actually record on a completely different side of the store because there was water coming up through the floor from the ice melt. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? So I had to move the camera to a completely different spot, and there happened to be a glare. I checked afterwards and was able to move the camera slightly to make it a little bit better, so the remainder of the round should be better, and I do apologize for that. So we're going to see him use... I think the Foxy tune to pitch itself and Golden Lord to spec another Punk monster from the deck, pay 600 to search, and then use those to go into Halk summon Deskbot. I'm pretty sure it's Foxy tune. I'm starting to remember some of these Punk cards. And then we're going to see him go ahead and go for the Auroradon, bring out the Deskbot Classic, and then we're going to see him Synchro 4 here into Cupid Pitch, which I'm still not entirely sure what it does. All I know is it burns when it synchros. Yeah, so we're going to see him activate a Auroradon effect here. Go ahead and tribute 2 tokens, spec him Mechaphantom Beast from the deck. It's going to go for Colt Wing, bring back the 2 tokens, and spec back the Deskbot 001. And probably a huge plethora of plays that can be made here. We're going to see him Synchro. Synchro 8 into Cupid Pitch. Chainlink 2 Savage, Chainlink 1 Cupid. He'll burn for 800, because I think you make your opponent take... damage equal to the monster that it was used to summon times 100. So Boral Savage being 8 times 100, right? 800 damage. And then we'll see him Synchro for Herald of the Arclight. Possibly setting one. We're actually going to commit the normal summon here of another Punk monster. And since most of the lower level Punks are level 3 tuners, he's going to be able to Synchro into Baron, Defleur, and pass turn on that. So ending with Baron, Boral Savage, Herald, 1 set. No Eldlich engine here, pretty much just all combo with Punk cards and Deskbot. So not the full experience, right? Not the full end board. You know, it would be this plus like set 3 or 4, which I don't know how you're getting through that game 1 especially. It's a pretty strong board. And yeah, we're going to see our Drytron player scoop there. Not show his opponent what he's on, and probably just doesn't want to, you know, waste the time trying to crack a board he probably can't crack. So we're going to do a game 2 situation, and I'd like to mention a quick shout out to the ways that you guys can support the channel, either by using my discount code at Imperium Duelist, Winner Kill 10% off at checkout, save 10% off your order, or using the affiliate links I have to TCG Player over the Coldest Water, again in the link in the descriptions below. So definitely check that out. So we're going to see Drytron lead with Emergency for Alpha pitch Ida 10, no Ben 10, to go ahead and summon himself and search a Ritual monster. Probably going to search the Ben 10 here, right? If you don't already have it, going to go get it as soon as possible. And Drytron is actually a deck I really kind of want to play again. I'm not even being like, I'm not even joking. Like, this is a deck I actually kind of want to play again, because now that the Fairy engine like isn't the best engine anymore, there are a lot of other options on the table, and I just genuinely like the way the Drytron cards themselves work. And I also have you know, it pretty much in max rarity. You know, I got the Collector Rare Meteonis, which I actually still need one more Meteonis, and I've got the Collector Rare Draconids, all looking very gorgeous. So we're going to see him go ahead and activate Prosperity 4/6 here, finding a few names, a Droplets, copy of Meteonis, and a Diviner. I think seeing Alpha, Zeta, and Gamma off of that. Or it might have been 2 Zetas. So we're going to see him go Zeta pitch Ben 10. And yeah, I mean, at this point, we're pretty much off to full combo here. Although, like, if I were to play Drytron, I don't think I would play it in this way. I think this is just, like, FTK Turbo. At least about as close as you can get to FTK Turbo. Although the one fortunate fact for our Eldlich Punk player here is that, you know, Scythe really isn't a huge issue. Luckily, you have a big engine like the Eldlich engine that you can fall back on if you cannot go into the extra deck. So that is kind of helpful for, you know, the versatility of the deck in terms of not auto-losing to Scythe, which is pretty strong. We're just going to see him resolve Gamma here, tributing off the Ben 10, summoning back the Alpha. And I see a copy of Solemn Judgment in hand. So, I mean, if you can pull off the whole lock here with Judgment on top of that, this is going to be pretty much just like game ending, I want to say. Yeah, it's like, I mean, Scythe plus Judgment, like that's pretty good. You need a whole lot of cards there to try and get through that board. I think I see Droplet in the Eldlich player's hand. That could definitely out the whole Scythe lock, but Judgment is there just to kind of counter that really hard. We're going to see him activate Natasha. He'll gain a rack by targeting one of the Drytrons. And then we're going to see him link 2 here into Dagda, and then link 2 again into Anaconda. So this is the one reason why I don't really like this version of Drytron, because all it kind of boils down to is like just 2 link monsters and a Scythe lock. Yeah, it seems very boring in my opinion, but I know it's the easiest way to win, right? Not very hard to do either. I kind of want to experiment with the Megalith build. The Megalith build looks really, really fun, just because you can do, like, Megalith stuff, which is stuff I've never really got to do. I've never really experimented with the Megalith cards. I've always wanted to use them, never really had a chance to. So we're going to see him set 2. Well, set 1. We know 1 is the Scythe, and the other being Judgment here. We're going to see him normal summon a Punk Monster, pay 600 to go ahead and search the Foxy Tune. I know Z Amin searches a spell or trap. I could be wrong, though. Then we're going to see him activate Cursed Eldland. And we're going to see him maybe pay 8. Feel great here. I think I already see Golden Lord in hand, though. Golden Lord could be pretty good here. The only thing you have to be worried about, though, is Golden Lord hitting the other set, which we know to be Judgment. The one downside of the Dagda thing is that, you know, it's very telegraphed. Like, you know where the Scythe is. It's very easy to Cosmic Cyclone. But I guess one other unique thing that Drytron can do is they can actually just search Scythe outright and kind of skip Dagda as well, which is really cool. And same thing can be said with Lancia, because lo and behold, those are light fairies, and Ben 10 would like to know their location. So we're going to see Foxy Tune go ahead and pitch itself alongside a Conquistador to go ahead and spec. I think that's Z Amin. I could be wrong. One of them's got to be Z Amin. Searching the Gabu, which is basically just an Imperm. And then I think if you control a Punk Monster, you can like burn your opponent. But we're going to see him go into Hulk here. Still shocked that we have not seen DPE for Scythe yet. I don't really know what exactly there is to wait for. Like, I feel like, because now I mean, if he holds Judgment for this, yeah, I mean, like, that's good and all, but you could also just have held the Judgment for anything else. Like, even, let's say you do go DPE, he goes, you know, Droplet, and then you Judgment it, right? Like, he'd have to pitch a trap there, and if you do that very early on, he might not have a trap in hand. That's the one risky counterpart about this deck, is that, like, he could easily be able to pitch a trap off that Droplet, and you wouldn't really be able to do anything about it. So I guess I also see the side of Judgmenting the Auroradon, because that's a pretty big piece to actually hit with the, what is it? The Judgment. Like, that's a huge combo piece to hit. Like, a lot of people that struggle against these Hulk turbo decks is like, everybody's so focused on hitting Hulk, but like hitting Auroradon oftentimes is just way, way better. Way, way more resource efficient. This is very, like, Imperm on Auroradon has just always been like almost GG. It's so strong. So we're gonna see him banish 3 Eldlich traps in the end phase. End phase, Dagda will destroy Scythe as a part of its effect. And that will do it for our Eldlich player's turn. No DPE coming back here, just because it was negated by Droplet. which I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but I don't know if there was a trap in the opening hand for our Eldlich Punk player, because if there was, you know, shotgunning DPE immediately would have forced the droplet, but then I guess if he pitches a trap, you can't judgment anyways, and then you just hold the judgment for later for the Auroradon. I still don't think it makes a huge difference, honestly. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he also, by not doing it early, let him get a trap to hand with, like, the Cursed Eldland and then the Punk Monster, etc. So we will see him link into Nightmare Unicorn to start, and that is going to force out the Gabu. And we're going to see him commit the normal summon here of Diviner. And going to go ahead and dump a Herald of the Arclight to go ahead and search a ritual spell or a monster. We'll see what he decides to grab. He's going to go ahead and grab the Meteonis Drytron. And we'll see what kind of... I mean, he's got, I think, every name in Grave except for Delta. I could be wrong. But I know at least for a fact Zeta, Gamma, and Alpha are all in the Grave. We're going to see Hakero and Sanguine here on Alpha in Grave pitching Draconids. We'll see him banish the Alpha. Preventing Draconids from coming out is pretty strong. Card could be pretty game ending right here. But no cards left in hand. Here's that Celestial follow-up. Draw 2. Draws into Nib. And one other monster. I can't really tell exactly what it is. The Nib. Less than ideal right now. But, you know, you can't complain about that. You'll take the Nib to kind of fall back on, I guess. And now we're going to see, I mean, Natasha still is live in Gravy. We'll see Natasha activate. That's going to banish the Ida-10. And then we're going to go ahead and see him activate Natasha, targeting Golden Lord to go ahead and gain 1250, I believe, since half its attack is, or well, its attack's 25, so half would be 1250. And yeah, since it was still properly summoned, it'll be able to summon itself out of the grave, and yeah, our Eldlich player is going to kind of see the writing on the wall there and go ahead and scoop it up, especially with only 600 life points left. We are into a game 3 situation, and we're going to see Eldlich Punk go first. Opening hand of Imperm, E-Telly, Sanguine, Droplet, and Deskbot 03, I believe. And that is normal, so we can go and spec out Deskbot 01. So look at that, just like that, instant access to the Helka Fiber X engine, if nothing else. So we'll see now him activate E-Telly into a Punk Monster. And that is going to go ahead and pay 600 to search, as it usually does. See what he decides to go ahead and grab here. Looks like he's going for the Foxy Tune, which is a really nice card to be able to search out here since it's acting as an extender. And also a very quick and easy way to get your Eldlich traps into the graveyard. You know, to just have it set up at the end phase. Even if you get nibbed, if any of your combos sort of go wrong. Right, you've got that to fall back on. We're going to see him search the Gabu, and then we're going to see him synchro into Herald of the Arclight right before Hulk, too. So opening up pretty strong here. The protected Hulk play is one thing, right? Having that Omni Negate up. And he already has a Deskbot in Grave, so, okay, going to go ahead and summon another Deskbot. And if you were wondering, I would imagine this is a 60-card deck, like 100%. We're going to see him summon 3 tokens. And can only bring back 1 Deskbot here. So we'll see him bring that back. And then we're going to see probably the Cupid Pitch here, as we've seen standard in the past couple combos. Cupid Pitch effect. I think it like declares a level on summon, and it can become that level. So yeah, it's going to become a 5, I think. And then we're going to see Chainlink 1 Cupid, Chainlink 2 Boral. We're going to see him search the Hop Ear Squadron. And equip the Hulk, and then we're going to see a Auroradon effect go ahead and tribute itself off to go ahead and summon out the Coltwing. Coltwing will not be able to spec tokens here since there is not another Mecha Phantom Beast monster on field. And then we're going to go ahead and see him overlay into Abyss Dweller. So, yeah. Once another Omni Negate has been established, getting rid of 1 to go ahead and slap it into a Dweller. Nib is going to be played in the end phase, well, in end of main phase, as you probably have to do, just to force out at least a negate on that Boral Savage. And we'll see Sanguine banish herself to set another one, and then we're going to see standby phase Dweller from our Eldlich Punk player here. Yeah, pretty tough board to try and out here. We're going to see Lightning Storm get activated. This could be huge, but of course Boral Savage is going to negate. And looks like on resolution of that, we're going to see Hop Your Squadron activate, synchroning with Boral Savage into Baron to Fleur. So one Omni Negate immediately being replaced by another. That's going to deal with that evenly match. That's got to hurt quite a bit. And I only see in our Drytron player's hand now, I see Dasher, Zeta, Meteonis, and Nibiru, which isn't going to cut it here. Needs another name. Drytron always been notoriously, you know, sort of a 2-card combo deck. Very unfortunate to see. We'll see End Phase Hakero, and then we'll see him normal summon a Punk Monster to start here. And I guess at this point, if you're the Drytron player, you're hoping the fact that he knows that there's a Nib in his hand is going to keep him from overextending to try to go for a game. And you just hope you can't get game on board in under 5 summons. So we have the Dweller, which is at 17. The Baron, which is at 3k, so that's 4,700 damage right now. He's only at 72. I think that Eldlich Trap either has 500 or 1,800. But he's going to go ahead and swing in for 3, 600, 18, and 17, I believe. And that'll drop him down to exactly 100 life points. Yeah, just short of game here. Literally just short. If you would add an E-Tally or something to spec out literally anything with 100 attack or more would have been game. We'll see him link into Link Spider just to go ahead and get that Hakero into grave to be able to reset a Sanguine in the end phase. And then Destiny draw here. Pot of Prosperity coming off the top. That's a pretty good draw. The Baron Negate has been exhausted. So if you can find a way to clear this board, at least play through the Eldlich engine, which is going to be easier said than done right now. You just hope he doesn't have something like, you know, Hakero. I mean, we know he has Sanguine, but if he has another Hakero, that's going to be pretty tough to try and deal with. Because, you know, having a DD Crow against a deck like Drytron is also pretty strong. And I also believe that Dweller has been activated again in the standby phase here. So, like, that's also a problem you have to worry about. But at least your Drytron names can still go from hand. We're seeing that reveal an emergency, a Nib, Celestial, Evenly, Droplet, and Droll. I mean, there is another name there. Also remembering to send off that Helk, since the Boral Savage is no longer here. I mean, taking the Drytron name is good, but you still have 4 back row to play through. Taking the Evenly is pretty good here. And I guess it all comes down to what is the opponent going to banish. We're going to see him force a Sanguine here. That's going to bring out Eldlich the Golden Lord just to get that trap engraved so it doesn't get banished. We're going to see him fire the Evenly. And what will he decide to keep here? And he does, of course, decide to keep the Baron. Yeah, I was hoping he would keep something else. I don't know why, but, you know, if he did, that's kind of an opportunity for you to survive another turn, I guess. But, yeah, just not enough names there. And Eldlich Punk taking it 2-1 there. If you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos on the bottom of the screen right now. And, of course, a huge shout-out goes to our Divine Level channel members. And they are Tweeter0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Keith Stitchers, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your extremely generous support of the channel.